Welcome students to the new chapter Special Theory of Relativity Lecture 1 for BSc Physics first year first semester. Today's topic is Introduction to the Theory of Relativity, Galilean Transformations or Galilean Transformation Equations. What is relativity? Let us see a story, an interesting story which was happened in the court of Akbar. Akbar wanted to test the intelligence of his courtiers. He has drawn a line on the floor and he asked the courtiers to shorten that line without touching or rubbing. This was puzzled all the courtiers who were present there. But a clever man in that court was Birbal, who came and drew another longer line adjacent to the Akbar's line. Then Akbar's line seems to be shorter when compared to the line drawn by Birbal. Then Birbal said, "My lord, so the line drawn by you has been shortened without rubbing or touching by me." Here, with this story, you can come to a conclusion that length is relative. Length is relative. When compared to a shorter line with the longer line, you are saying that this is shorter and this is longer. If you draw another longer line to the Birbal's line, adjacent to the Birbal's line, then Birbal's line will become shorter. In this way, the length is a relative one. The length is a relative one. Now let us see the shape. Shape of the objects also relative. When you compare the shapes, this one is smaller, this one is bigger. When comparing the shapes of the objects, you come to a conclusion that which is bigger and which is smaller. Therefore, shape of the objects is also relative. Let us see time also relative. The time also relative. Motion is also relative. How can you say that motion is relative? Let us see one example. One object or one person is moving with 20 kilometers per hour speed. Three observers are there observing that object. One observer is at rest. One observer is moving with 10 kilometers per hour along the object's motion. One person who is coming to the opposite to the object with 20 kilometers per hour speed. The observer who is at rest calculated the speed of the object is 20 kilometers per hour. Second observer who is moving along the direction of the object which is moving, he calculated the speed of the object is 20 kilometers minus 10 kilometers. His speed is 10 kilometers per hour. Therefore, 20 kilometers per hour minus 10 kilometers per hour, which gives 10 kilometers per hour. The observer who is moving along the direction of the object calculated the speed as 10 kilometers per hour. Now, the third observer who is coming to the opposite direction of the object with a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, he calculated the speed of the object is 40 kilometers per hour. Now, analyzing these three results, the object is moving with only 20 kilometers per hour, but the three observers who are in three different situations, first one is at rest, second one is moving along the direction of the object, third one is moving opposite to the direction of the object. Therefore, we got three different results. Therefore, the motion is also relative. With these discussions, we come to a conclusion that the position and the time are relative physical quantities. The position and the time are relative physical quantities. As these physical quantities are relative, motion is also relative. Because motion is specified with the speed of the objects, therefore speed is defined as distance divided by time. Therefore, distance and time, which are relative physical quantities, therefore motion is also, speed is also a relative one, therefore motion is also relative. The theory which deals with the relativity of motion and rest, theory which relates or which deals with the relativity of motion and rest is called the theory of relativity. The theory of relativity. This theory of relativity is divided into two parts. One is special theory of relativity, another one is general theory of relativity. Now, what is theory of relativity? Theory of relativity is relating or dealing with the motion and rest of the objects. The theory which deals with the relativity of motion and rest is called the theory of relativity. It is divided into two parts. One is a special theory of relativity, another one is general theory of relativity. Who are the pioneers of this special theory of relativity? Let us say Albert Einstein was the pioneer for this special theory of relativity. In 1905, he proposed a special theory of relativity which drastically changed the shape of physics during that time. Who are the pioneers of theory of relativity? Galilean, Lorentz, Minkowski, Einstein, etc. These are all the pioneers of theory of relativity. What is special theory of relativity? Here, the special theory of relativity deals with the objects or systems which are moving at a constant speed with respect to other. The objects which are moving with constant speed with respect to one another is studied by the special theory of relativity, or the objects which are rest with respect to each other also studied by special theory of relativity. The objects moving with constant speed means the objects having the acceleration 0, because there is no rate of change of speed. That means there is no change in speed because the objects are moving with constant speed, therefore acceleration is 0. Now, the special theory of relativity deals with the objects which are having 0 acceleration or the objects which are at rest. So here, the objects or systems which are moving at a constant speed or 0 acceleration with respect to each other, or the objects are which are at rest with respect to each other. This was done by the special theory of relativity. Now go to the general theory of relativity. This general theory of relativity deals with the objects or systems which are speeding up or slowing down. That means continuously the speed of the objects is changing. Therefore, the objects possess acceleration. The general theory of relativity deals with the accelerated bodies with respect to one another. So the special theory of relativity deals with the objects with 0 acceleration, whereas the general theory of relativity deals with the objects which are having acceleration, either at acceleration or deceleration. So this is all about the special theory of relativity and the general theory of relativity. Let us see what is frame of reference. Frame of reference. We have already discussed the Cartesian coordinate system in first unit. René Descartes, who proposed the Cartesian coordinate system. Here, a well-defined coordinate system which specifies the position and motion of the objects or systems is called frame of reference. Frame of reference is used to define the position of an object or system. Therefore, that coordinate system should be well defined. A well defined coordinate system which specifies the position and motion of the objects or systems is called frame of reference. So here I have drawn a 3 coordinate system, 3 axis coordinate system, x, y and z. In that plane I have taken a point P whose coordinates are x comma y comma z. Here the position of the point is well defined by this well defined 3-dimensional coordinate system. Therefore, a system relative to which the motion of any object is described is called a frame of reference. A reference frame or a system relative to which the motion of any object is described is called frame of reference, or a well-defined coordinate system which can explain the motion of the objects is called frame of reference. The motion of a body has no meaning unless it is described with respect to some well-defined system. This is very important to notice. The motion of a body has no meaning because it should be referred to a well-defined coordinate system. There are generally two types of reference systems or reference frames. One is inertial frames or unaccelerated frames. That means acceleration is 0. Inertial frames or unaccelerated frames. Second one is non-inertial frames. Unaccelerated frames means the frames where the acceleration is 0 or the objects are moving with the constant speed. Just we have discussed. Let us see what is inertial frames. A frame of reference which follows the Newtonian laws is called inertial frame. A frame of reference which follows the Newton's laws called inertial frame. A frame of reference is said to be inertial when the objects in this frame obey Newton's law of inertia and other laws of Newtonian mechanics. So a frame of reference which obeys or which follows Newton laws simply called inertial frame. In inertial frame, every object not acted upon by an external force, because at earlier we have defined unaccelerated frames. That means there is no acceleration. There is no acceleration means acceleration is 0. If acceleration is 0, the force is 0. Therefore, here the object not acted upon by an external force, therefore is at rest or moves with constant velocity. The object should be at rest or the object should move with constant velocity. In inertial frames, a frame of reference moving with constant velocity relative to an inertial frame is also inertial. Here we have taken one inertial frame. One frame of reference is moving with constant velocity with which we have taken. Therefore, that frame of reference which is moving with constant velocity is also inertial frame, since acceleration of the object in both the frames is 0. The velocity of the object is different, but the velocity is uniform. Velocity is uniform means acceleration is 0. Therefore, these frames are called inertial frames. What is non-inertial frame? This is opposite to the inertial frame. In inertial frame, the frames are following the Newton laws. Here, non-inertial frames do not follow Newton laws. A frame of reference is said to be non-inertial when the objects in this frame do not obey Newton's law of inertia or Newton's laws of motion. So a frame of reference do not follow Newton's laws is called non-inertial frame. In a non-inertial frame, every object is acted upon by an external force because these frames are accelerated frames. Therefore, acceleration is there. If acceleration is there, the object is acted upon by an external force. These are all inertial and non-inertial frames. Let us see Galilean transformations. Galilean transformations or Galilean transformation equations. Galilean transformation equations. So the basic idea of Galilean transformation equations are to transform. These Galilean transformation equations are used to transform the coordinates of a particle from one inertial frame to another. These Galilean transformation equations are establishing in between two inertial frames and relating two inertial frames. Therefore, Galilean transformations are used to transform the coordinates of a system or coordinates of a particle from one inertial frame to another. They relate the observations of position and time made by two of observers located in two different inertial frames. This is very important. Here the observers are in two different inertial frames. Therefore, These Galilean transformations are used to relate the position and the time with the help of equations. Here, as shown in figure, we are considering two inertial frames. One inertial frame is S, another one is S dash. Is this S frame is at rest, whereas S dash frame is moving with constant velocity v, as shown in figure. Here this blue ray shows the velocity of S dash frame of reference. Here, let an event is happen at a point P at a particular time. Point P is there at a particular time t, an event is happen. Let the coordinates of the point P with respect to S frame of reference x, y, z and t. X, y, z are position coordinates, whereas t is time coordinate. Where in the case of S dash frame of reference, the coordinates are specified as x dash, y dash, z dash and t dash. These are the new set of coordinates in S dash frame of reference. When time t equals to 0, that means t equals to t dash equals to 0, these two frames are coincided with each other. Then the origins of both reference frames are coincided with each other. When S dash frame is started to moving, or S dash frame is traveled a distance of v into t after t time, because the velocity of S dash frame is v. After t time, it has moved to a distance of v into t, because v is the speed, t is the time. Multiplying with the velocity by time, you get the distance covered by S dash frame of reference. At time t equals to 0, t equals to t dash equals to 0, this S frame and S dash frame are coincided with each other, and their origins also coincided. But when S dash frame of reference is moving with a constant speed v, after some time t, this S dash frame has moved a distance of v into t, because its speed is v, duration of time is t, therefore the traveled distance is v into t. Now this S dash frame of reference is at a distance of vt from S frame of reference. Let us choose our axis so that x and x dash are parallel to v. Then the relation between these two frames can be written as, here in previous slide we see that this is the x, the red rays represents the distance of x which was measured from S frame of reference. This x dash is measured in S dash frame of reference. We know that here x, that is equals to the total distance from S frame of reference to the point P is x, that is equals to the distance traveled by S dash frame of reference and the distance from S dash frame of reference to the point P. Therefore, x is equals to Vt plus x dash. But we wanted to calculate the new coordinates with respect to S frame of reference. The new coordinates means S dash frame of reference, where in S dash frame of reference we are writing coordinates. Therefore, x dash, that is equals to x minus Vt. Since x equals to x dash plus Vt, there we can write x dash equals to x minus Vt. There is no relative motion along y and z axis. Therefore, y dash equals to y, z dash equals to z, and t dash equals to t. Because here the time is independent of space coordinate system. Therefore, t dash equals to t. These four equations, or this set of equations, are called Galilean transformation equations. We have taken two frames of references S and S dash at a time t equals to 0. These two frames are coincided with each other. Their origins are also coincided with each other. We have taken a point P in the space. There one incident is happened whose coordinates are x comma y comma z comma t with respect to S frame of reference. When S dash frame of reference is moving with some constant speed v, after some time t, it traveled a distance vt, because the distance equals to speed into time. S dash frame of reference is traveled a distance v into t. Now we have written here the new coordinate in S dash frame of reference, the position coordinate x coordinate, that is x dash, that is equals to x minus vt. There is no relative motion along y and z axes. Therefore, y dash equals to y and z dash equals to z. Here, time is independent of space coordinate system. Therefore, there is no change in time coordinates. T dash equals to t. This is set of equations are called Galilean transformation equations. The inverse Galilean transformations can be expressed as x, that is equals to x dash plus vt, y, that is equals to y dash, z, that is equals to z dash, t is equals to t dash. In this way, we have related the coordinates in two inertial frames. This is the intention of Galilean transformations. We are transforming the coordinates from one system to another system, one frame of reference to another frame of reference. Here we have also seen the inverse Galilean transformation equations. Galilean transformation equations for velocity. Now we are going to write the Galilean transformation equations for velocity. Just we have seen the position and the time coordinates. Now here I am writing the velocity transformation equations. Ux dash, that is the velocity in s dash frame of reference, is defined as the rate of change of x dash, that is rate of change of x dash, that is equals to ux dash. So, but we have already written x dash equals to x minus vt. Substituting here, therefore, dx dash by dt, that is equals to d by dt of x minus vt. Here differentiating this x minus vt with respect to time, dx by dt minus v. Dx by dt minus v. V is the constant speed of s dash frame of reference. Therefore, ux dash, that is equals to dx by dt is the speed in s frame of reference. That is ux minus v. Ux dash is given by ux minus v. In vectorial form, u dash, that is equals to u minus v. In vectorial form, u dash, that is equals to u minus v. There are no relative motion along y and z axes. Therefore, uy dash equals to uy and uz dash is equals to uz. These are the set of equations for velocity in Galilean transformations. Galilean transformations for acceleration. Let us go for acceleration. Acceleration, nothing but the rate of change of velocity. So here, acceleration components can be obtained by differentiating ux dash, uy dash and uz dash. Ax dash, that is equals to d by dt of ux dash. But we got ux dash as u minus v. Here the velocity is velocity of s dash frame of reference. V is a constant. There is no change at all. Therefore, dux by dt minus dv by dt. This velocity v is a constant. Therefore, dv by dt equals to 0. Then what we remain here remain is d by dt of ux. Therefore, rate of change of ux, that is nothing but ax, that is the acceleration component in s frame of reference. Here ax dash is equals to ax dash is equals to ax, since velocity v is here the constant. Ay dash is equals to ay, a dash, that is equals to az. Therefore, a dash equals to a. Vectorially we can write a dash equals to a. Multiplying above equation with mass on both sides, we get m into a dash, that is equals to ma. Ma dash is equals to ma. Therefore, f dash equals to f. The acceleration is the same in both s and s dash frames. So, acceleration and force are invariant in classical physics. Acceleration and force are invariant. There is no change at all. Now, let us see the drawbacks of Galilean transformations. The laws of electromagnetism or electrodynamics and Maxwell's equations are not invariant under Galilean transformations. This is the first drawback in Galilean transformation equations. The laws of electromagnetism or electrodynamics and Maxwell's equations are not invariant under Galilean transformation equations. These are variant. Galilean transformations are invalid when the objects are moving with higher velocities, which is nearer to velocity of light. Whenever the objects are moving with higher velocities like velocity of light, then the Galilean transformations are invalid. These are the drawbacks of Galilean transformations. Now the time for assignment. First one is, what is theory of relativity and explain. Second one is, define frame of reference. Third one, distinguish between inertial and non-inertial frames. Fourth one, derive Galilean transformation equations and write its drawbacks. This is all right now. Thank you.